Kolkata, sir.
Yeah,
Namaste,
yeah,
sir.
sir.
Namaste, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'll take your leave, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you, all
Okay.
of you. Thank you. Stay safe. Thank you.
So, dear participants, now we are having our next resource person, Professor H.K. Singh. He is a senior faculty member in Banaras Hindu University. Before joining Banaras Hindu University, he was faculty member in Allahabad University. And meanwhile, he had been a vice chancellor for Maharishi University of Information Technology, which is in Sitapur, Lucknow. So we are having a resource person as vice chancellor, former vice chancellor with us. And I will not tell anything about his publication. He is having a very long list of publication and research papers. He is having a good number of books he has published. Very, very relevant and very, very handy books he has published. But more than these things, I would like to highlight that actually we placed his name in the third week of our program. But all of a sudden, yesterday only one of the resource person told that inability to present here because of some health reason. And the first name which came to my mind for replacement was Professor H.K. Singh. Although I considered his seniority and all those things, but still, because he is very friendly to me, he considered me as his younger brother. So on that ground, I requested him, and yesterday only I requested, and he readily agreed that yes, I will be there. Don't worry. Although he is having another program, some PhD Viva, he reshuffled, I think, that program and agreed to come here. So that is a very big help to us, sir. You considered us for that. So at least it higher than all other things to introduce. This was a better introduction for you, sir. So in some other programs also, I have heard him speaking, and I find that he is the right person to speak on this platform. Sir, this program is a faculty induction program. So all new faculties are here, nearly 30 are there. And this program is organized by HRD, our MZU HRD, and Dr. Manoj Kumar Verma is also here. He is coordinator of the course. I am co-coordinator. So Dr. Manoj Verma is from Library Science Department, and you know me, I am from Commerce Department. So, sir, this platform is for you, sir. So now you can take forward from here, sir.
Thank you, Professor Bhartendu. Very good morning to everyone. Dr. M.K. Verma, Professor Bhartendu, Honorable Director of HRDC Mizoram University, and learned participants. At the outset, I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of my university, that is Banaras Hindu University. You are aware, Varanasi, the Kasi, is located at the apex point of the trident, and therefore I pray Lord Vishwanath to provide his blessing to the entire humanity for getting rid of this COVID-19. COVID-19, it was just like Third World War. The loss to the humanity was more than the First and the Second World War. And the year 2020 will be known into future for three specific events. Number one, the start of COVID-19 to our country. Although this COVID started in the year 2019, but in our country, it started in 2020. And the loss to the humanity is just like the Third World War. But two events are very much important. Number one, NEP 2020, National Education Policy. And number two, ANBA, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. So these are three historical moments of the year 2020. Number one, COVID. Number two, NEP. Number third, ANBA. Friends, be sure, if we can successfully implement NEP and ANBA, whatever loss incurred due to the COVID, that will be compensated by the NEP and ANBA. Both are supplementary and complementary. NEP is for self-reliant India on the educational front. We are thinking a paradigm shift from Lord Macaulay philosophy to the Gurukula philosophy. Otherwise, in our country, the education philosophy is based on Lord Macaulay philosophy. And now we are making switch over to the Gurukula philosophy. And this ANBA, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, it is also the same, but on the industrial front. Friends, for the last 2 years or more than that, I have made at least 100 online lectures on this COVID especially. And I was somehow saying that the 2022 will come and that will be treated as post-COVID scenario. And somehow now I am believing that this was probably correct. We are switching over to the post-COVID scenario. Probably now the loss due to the COVID will be somehow managed, and we have to think about converting India into developed nation, super economic power. You are aware, from 1947 to 2022, 75 years we have completed. And now the 25 years more, the year 2047, when we will celebrate the 100 years of our independence, we have to decide one target, that now in the coming 25 years, India has to acquire the status of developed nation. But for that purpose, I am suggesting all of you innovative management practices. You may ask to me, what is this concept innovative? Everyone can define innovation in his or her own way. But from my point of view, innovation is having simplest meaning, MAD. Make a difference. Do the things into different way. Only then we can acquire success in our respective fields. Otherwise, simply working by the tracks which has been well identified, it will be difficult for converting India into developed nation. Professor Bhartendu, my description is quite different. I don't distinguish into this form of developed or underdeveloped nations. From my point of view, economies are having only two categories. Number one, mismanaged economy. And number two, well-managed economy. If really we can bring professionalism into management, be sure India will become developed nation. Think about professionalism into management. Think about professionalism into education. Professionalism into every sphere. If we can do it, our universities will become the best universities of the globe. Our industries, which have become sick, and we are talking about turn around management practices. Think about professionalism. Especially I'm going to talk about educational sector. We are working into the academic world. Now with your permission, I am coining one term, area, A-R-E-A. Here A means academic, R is research, E, extension, and lastly A, administration. It means this acronym area is having 4 components: academic, research, extension, and lastly administration. I have been told by Professor Bhartendu that this is the faculty induction program. Our young teachers have joined this course. And whenever we are finding the young generation, whether in the mode of online or offline, it is the real enjoyment for the academic world. When young friends are in the audience group, somehow we feel that we are also becoming younger. With your permission, I'm going to talk about number one, academic. Then I will talk about R, research. Then E, extension. And lastly, A, administration. Friends, be sure, now the academic world is full of opportunities. For academicians, it's my production branch, my factory, and it's my marketing. You must bother about it. Academicians are having their factory, their mind, their brain, but it's my marketing, communication skill, soft skill, whether written or oral. These are two major components, oral communication skill and written communication skill. Who will acquire success into the academic world? If you can coordinate your production branch with the marketing branch. The successful teacher will coordinate the production branch with the marketing branch. Friends, if you are having good clothes, it is a matter of production. But if you are having the sense of wearing proper clothes at proper moment, it is a matter of marketing. Knowing a lot is production, but expressing into proper way is marketing. Our Indian farmers are best producers. They are producing the quantity and the quality into right form. But our Indian farmers are poor marketeers. And therefore, Indian farmers are not getting fair prices of the product. If anyone teacher is sound in the factory production, but he or she not sound into the delivery part, communication skill, soft communication skill, the chances of success will be less. Therefore, I'm suggesting young friends to coordinate the production with the marketing. When I joined this teaching profession around 36 years ago, in 1986, after completing the BCom and MCom from University of Allahabad, I got the permanent appointment. Normally in the academic world, two techniques were very much popular. Number one was the slip system. We are going to the classroom and we are getting the help of certain slips. We are writing few things. The young generation is going through book 7. Whether the slip or the notebook or the diary or the book, I agree. The slip will help me, but be sure the slip or the book or the diary or anything, any material cannot replace the teacher. The slip will help me, but my communication skills should be such that my students to be attracted. Number second technique was very much popular, the PPT. In those days, through overhead projector, we were projecting certain things by transparencies. Nowadays, in the era of IT, we are using a lot of PPT. I'm not criticizing, my observations are for proper mix of the things. Whether the book or the computer cannot replace the teacher. There is no replacement of offline teaching. You are aware, in the COVID era, the examination, the admission, the teaching, the evaluation, all was made through computer. But somehow now we are feeling there is no replacement of offline teaching, direct teaching. Anyhow, when I joined this teaching profession, these were two popular techniques. One was the slip system, another was this PPT, projector, this, that. But friends, I decided about extempore presentation. Today I have been invited. I have noted certain points that I will talk about, these 10, 12 points. But even then, I will rather more focus on extempore presentation. I can use a certain transparency, I agree to it. I am having certain slips here, but more focus should be on my own presentation. For academicians, the coordination between the production and the marketing is very much essential. Your mother is the best producer. For the kitchen, food production, she is best. But friends, only few mothers are having idea about marketing technique. On the table, how the things are served. Only successful mothers are knowing how can we satisfy others. In some food, mix salt, in certain spices, in certain oil, so that everyone can be satisfied. The presentation part. The same should be with the teacher. Our young teachers will think about it. Proper mixing. My subject is commerce, friend. Commerce somehow has become more and more theoretical. Our mother subject was economics. Economics came from political science. More older was political science than economics. From economics, we shifted to commerce. From commerce to management. This is the story of my subject. You see, economics became quite abstract, theoretical, and therefore there was certain problem with economics. The applied economics is known as commerce. But in 20, 30 years, my subject commerce also became quite theoretical. Then we started applied commerce, and applied commerce was known as management. After 1991, management became very popular. But friends, please permit me. If you are preparing the slip and the same slip you are using for 3, 4, 5 decades, your class will become quite obsolete. Think about latest developments, recent developments, applied portion. How can we apply the theory into practice? You are aware about NEP, National Education Policy. They are talking about involvement of students. In all the disciplines, and especially in my discipline, the Harvard style, the case study method. Friends, be sure about this particular technique. Otherwise, normally the teacher is teaching. 3, 4, 5 teachers are teaching to you. And you are hearing for 4, 5, 6 hours. Please permit me. Hearing may be possible for 4, 5, 6 hours. Listening is not possible for 4, 5, 6 hours. For effective listening, think about proper involvement of both the parties. Means teacher is not only teacher, teacher is the coordinator of the class. Our students are not the students, they are participants, they are learners. You involve them. The case study method of education, of teaching. In our country, the Macaulay philosophy. In Macaulay philosophy, the G Hajuri. Always we are focusing that the students are expected to say, yes, sir. Always they are saying yes. They are never disagreeing. The management education starts with the disagreement. The case study method. We will circulate the cases. And through case study method, the teacher and the student both are on the equal platform. Then the successful discussion will occur. You see, the case study method was started in law, LLB program, LLM program, LLD program. In medical education, medical sciences, every case is different. Now in commerce, management, economics, psychology, sociology, any other subjects also. This case study method is applied part. I was talking about political science to economics, economics to commerce, commerce to management. After 1991 and now in this decade, emerging universities, top universities of the globe, they are not running simple management programs. They are running applied management courses like in MBA into ERP, MBA into event management, MBA into leadership development, applied program. Friends, please permit me. I am not criticizing any particular subjects, but even then, gone are the days of pure subjects. Now we are switching over to the applied portion. I'm not saying that the pure subjects are not relevant, but we have to think about applying the pure subjects for solving the real problems. And that's why in place of chemistry, applied chemistry. In place of physics, applied physics. In place of computer, applied computer, which is known as IT. You see, computer is applied physics, not mathematics, applied mathematics, not commerce, applied commerce. Therefore, you think about applying your theoretical knowledge for solving the business problems. The first part I focused, A, academic. I do hope my young teachers will think about clubbing the production with the marketing, development of soft skills, oral as well as written communication skills. Number 2 are research. You people are working to university system or college system, higher education institutions. More relevant part is research part. In few universities, in few colleges, we are writing the essay and we are claiming it is research. We are writing the article and you are claiming it is a research paper. You see, now UGC has made specific provisions for the course work. Now 1 year course work, previously it was for 6 months, 1 semester. Now my university has prepared 1 year course work for doctoral program. It means compulsorily 6-7 papers will be taught to the candidate about the research orientation. We have to bother about it. Friends, the version of ex-HRD Minister Professor Murli Manohar Joshi. Previously it was HRD Ministry, now it is Ministry of Education. Professor Joshi was great educationalist. He was working with us at University of Allahabad and then he became the HRD Minister. As per his version, 0.1%, I'm not saying 1%, 0.1%. It means out of 1,000, only 1 research is acceptable at the global level. It is the position of our researchers. I'm not criticizing any particular university, but somehow we are not putting proper emphasis on research. Bother about it. Now there are certain softwares. Think about specific researches, especially applied researches, which I focus into the A, academic, the case study method. In my subject, any particular topic can be applied through cases like human resource accounting in TISCO, case study of TISCO. You can think about the case study method of Harvard Business School. You are aware about the Harvard University. It is a US concept. Management education is by and large focusing on the American philosophy. Otherwise, mainly we have been focusing on the British philosophy. Think about the best universities of the globe and you take the best practices of the best universities. Think about impact factor, citation index. Nowadays, these things are quite relevant. For you people, for your promotion, stage 1, 2, and like that. Even for associate professorship, open selection, you have to prove all that. Therefore, I am requesting everyone to bother about this R, research. It's more essential in the universities or the colleges. Try to be good teacher, try to be good researcher. Contribute your papers, research papers into the best journals. Like in my subject, there is ABDC, Australian Business Dean's Council. It is the classification of the journals. They have made 3 categories, A, B, C. In my country, already IIM A, IIM B, IIM C, Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Calcutta, they were having good reputations. IIM A has been publishing the Vikalpa, Hindi word of alternatives. It was very good journal, but now we are bothering about the ABDC, Thomson Reuters, Scopus Index. You must think about contributing your research papers into the reputed journals. Now, third point, E, extension. I am a professor of Banaras Hindu University. I am getting salary, I am getting bread and butter from my university. But I am not only for BHU, especially in the era of this computer, IT, online teaching and research. The things are being recorded. Any best teacher is best teacher for the entire globe. Think about extension activities. You are not only supposed to motivate your students of your own university or college, bother about the entire country, entire globe, extension activities. I do hope you will think about it. Now the scope is a lot. You are aware about the smart classroom. You are aware about the e-system. You are aware of the SLM, self-learning material. In the open universities, in every state there is open university also. There is IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University, the Central University. In every state there is distance mode universities. They are providing the things. You are aware, open universities are 24/7. There is no any boundary. At any point of time, we can get the material, we can study it. Now, in this NEP, when we are talking about national education policy, the holistic development, now there is no boundaries. Even you can consult to so many universities. There is system of bank, academic bank for credit transfer. Therefore, we will think about the extension activities. And lastly, A, administration, more important, good governance. If your university or college has to acquire A grade or A plus or A double plus by NAC, various parameters are there, especially 7 parameters are there. But most important is A, administration. You please permit me, if your university has to acquire A grade, there is need of proper leadership, good governance. Your captain is what? Without successful manager, without successful captain, your institution cannot acquire A. Friends, from my point of view, AC doesn't mean air conditioner. AC means any condition. Conditions may be turbulent. My young friends can say that at their institution, the things are quite different. With your permission, I would like to quote here LPP. LPP means linear programming problem. Your life should be based on the linear concept. Okay, everything linear. Then you will feel comfortable. In this LPP, linear programming problem, the first point is objective function. If today I'm meeting to you for 1 hour and 30 minutes, my objectives are clear. What I have to do, What main points I have to cover? I am suggesting you people, you decide your objectives for 1 year, for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, for one life. It is very important. In my subject, it is known as management by objective, propounded by Peter F. Drucker. What is this management by objective? We are supposed to be clear about the objective. If your students are joining BCom program, undergraduate program, you must ask them for what objective you are here. What you have to achieve in coming 3-4 years. Now UG will be for 4 years. The student and the teacher both should be clear about the objective. Number one is objective function. Number two, subject to the constants. Whenever you will decide certain objectives, certain constants, certain problems will always prevail. There is no any single day, no any single moment when there is no any constant, no any hurdle. Always be sure hurdles will prevail. In Ramcharitmanas, there was perfect MBO, management by objective. There was lesson that when if you will decide about good deeds, you will achieve success. Only good deeds are achieving success. But even for Lord Rama, certain hurdles were there. When Sita went to Lanka or Sri Lanka, for the team of Lord Rama, it was very difficult to go to Lanka because there was need of one bridge, which is now known as Setu Rameswaram. You see, there is a problem. But the way in which Lord Rama motivated his entire Banar Sena, what was said? Kachup sadhi raha balwana. You people are competent people and don't be silent. Do certain serious efforts. It was the effort of Lord Rama. He motivated the Banar Sena led by Lord Hanumana. And Setu Rameswaram was constructed. You teachers are the real motivators of your students. First point I said objective function. Second point I said subject to the constant. Third point is most important. Positivity. Never be negative. From today and onwards, you are having your own DNA. There is some blood group of yours. Like my blood group is B positive. You are maybe having A or O or like that. But from today, our attitude should be only and only positive, optimistic. In teaching world, there is no place of optimistic people. We are supposed to be always positive. I am sitting the place of Lord Vishwanath, and there was one great poet, you are knowing Kabir. And Kabir said, your attitude should be always positive. Sar sar ko gahir hai, thotha de bahai. Whatever is positive, you take it. And whatever is negative, don't take it. If I am with you for 1 hour and 30 minutes, I am having certain positive points. But if I am a human being, I am having some negative points also. If you are visualizing and observing my negative point, the same will be transferred. Please acquire my positive sides. If this will happen, very soon you will become the great authority by acquiring the positive sides of 3, 4, 5 people. It's very essential into academic world. We are the transformer. Our students are in the classroom. We are expected to be highly optimistic, never pessimistic. Be sure in this post-COVID era, after 2-3 years of suffering, our students are having negative mindset. We have to motivate them. I am here to motivate you people, young friends. I will never talk into negative way. It is a basic responsibility of the teacher to be always positive. Only then the real success will be possible to the higher educational institutions. Anyhow, I was talking about the word area: academic, research, extension, and lastly, administration. If you will bother about these 4 points, you will become the successful teacher. But for the last point, administration, good governance, I am going to add 4 points. Please add it. Number 1, motivation. Motivation is very essential. Leadership, you are the best leader. Number 3, supervision. You must think about a direct supervision. And last, communication. For a successful teacher or a successful manager, motivation, supervision, leadership, communication, these are 4 sides. Only then you will become successful motivator to your students. You see, about Indian economy, because I am a student of commerce, management and economics, from the same angle I'm going to talk. After 1947, in 1947, we got independence. Educational growth also started, but for me, economic growth is more important. From economic point of view, the first change was made in 1951, when we started the 5-year plans. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, a great visionary, he started the 5-year plans. It was a turning point for the Indian economy. Second turning point was 1971. Now, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. There was defeat by China to us. And Lal Bahadur Shastri was compelled to start the Green Revolution. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. It was the thinking of Lal Bahadur Shastri. In 1971, Indira ji started poverty eradication programs. Indira ji started so many things through this 1971, and after that, of poverty eradication programs. After again 20 years, 1991, now there was the Simha Rao government. Manmohan Singh was the finance minister, and we started LPG. While Indira ji started nationalization of banks, now the next government is talking about privatization. In LPG, the focal point was P, privatization. Now you see, Indira ji started NTC, National Textile Corporation, and now this government is saying bank, various companies, even Balco, Bharat Aluminium Company was privatized. It means now we decided that through liberalization, privatization, and globalization, India will attain the commanding heights. If this scenario will continue, 1951, 1971, 1991, at least from the year 2000, I was delivering the lecture that in the year 2020, India will become the developed nation, super economic power. But for that, there was need of big push theory in the year 2011. As a student of economics, I was expecting 1951, 1971, 1991. Next turning point was expected in 2011. But friends, we could not do it. Now Manmohan Singh Saab, the champion finance minister, was the prime minister. I am not from the political science subject. I am from economics. I am academician. But from my point of view, somehow in 2011, the required changes could not occur. In 2009, there was global financial crisis, and it was expected that we were expecting that in the 2011 paradigm shift will occur into the economic policies. At least now from 2014, the Modi era, certain changes are occurring into the economic policies. and we are expecting for our revival, changing the economy. But in 2019, now this COVID started. And the loss is a lot. Now, from my point of view, this year, 2022, which we were expecting in 2011, from my point of view, this year 2022 is the start of post-COVID era. And therefore, I have decided topic, innovative management practices in the post-COVID era. I'm expecting that this year 2022 will be the turning point. And now we have to think about innovation, professionalism to the management for converting India into developed nation. Now, with your permission, few specific points I'm going to explain. One point is IMS, Indian Management Services. You are aware, UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, is the apex body for competitive examinations for India. But there is system of IS examination, economic service, foreign service, forest service, various sectors are there, but there is no system of management services. I am suggesting Government of India to initiate the Indian Management Services, especially for the corporate world. I am raising a serious question before you. One student who is gold medalist of MS Sanskrit, he or she may be topper of MS Sanskrit. He or she may be topper of the examination of UPSC. But what professionalism he or she is having about running the corporate world? Now the business sector has become quite complex. One journalist who has no specific idea about running the corporate world, then the unit will become sick. The public sector units or even the private sector units which are having heavy capital expenditure, but they are becoming industrially sick. The term is industrial sickness. And nowadays we are talking about turn around management practices. Turn around management practices means converting the sick units into profitable units. For that purpose, now Government of India should start Indian Management Services. And not only that, state governments through their respective public service commissions. State governments are having public service commissions. Every government, state government is having public service commission. They should start provincial management services, decide the essential qualification, responsibility. Be sure, now we have to think about responsibility accounting. If I have given one task for few hours, there should be responsibility. If I have done the work into proper way, fine. Certain reward system. And if I'm not particular, I should be given certain punishment also. In my subject, it is known as carrot and stick theory. If you are accurate, some carrot, some rewards. If I'm not accurate, certain punishment, stick. Friends, probably many of you are having PhD degree. PhD, okay, fine, right. In other universities known as DPhil, Doctor of Philosophy. But from my point of view, PhD means P is the patience. In life, patience is very important. If I am today here, they are age my worship for 4 decades. In one day, in 1 year, it's not possible. You have to acquire maturity. It means there is need of punctuality. H, hard work, and D is dedication. Okay, degree is different, Doctor of Philosophy, but from my point of view, PhD is patience, hard work, and dedication. If you are having the confluence of patience, hard work, and dedication, only then you are the real PhD degree holder. Anyhow, I was talking about paradigm shifts. 2022 is the turning point for the Indian economy. Now we are expecting that we are going to be the developed nation, super economic power. Now we are talking about 5 trillion economy. We are going to be the economy GDP of 5 trillion. But in our country, the problem is a per capita income. Our population is around 130 crore. 5 trillion will be in few years. But think about per capita income. Our population is a lot. Think about population control. Otherwise, population explosion will be there. But the greatest benefit is demographic dividend. In India, there is demographic dividend. Youth, their percentage is highest in our country. We are not in the category of China. In China, there is no such potential in the youth. In our country, the percentage of youth is lot. In China, in Japan, the situation is different. In our country, youth are in having high percentage. They can do a lot, but India really needs the guru and the Gurukula philosophy. Probably you are aware about the guru and the Gurukula philosophy, which will be continued into the NEP 2020. Gu means darkness. Gu means darkness and Ru means light. Guru is a person who will provide light in the darkness of the life. We are the real gurus. We have to think about providing light in the darkness of our students. And Kul means family. And therefore the terms of Vice Chancellor, Kulpati. Why? Vice Chancellor is the master of the entire family. Therefore, in our country, we are calling by rector, Vice Chancellor, Kul Guru, Kulpati, Kul Sachiv, Kul Abhyanta. Kul means family. Think yourself that my university, my college is my family. Anyhow, one suggestion which I gave to you, this IMS, Indian Management Services, are provincial management services. Now, second point. Always bothering about production is not important. Commodity. Indians are best service providers. We are not best item producer. We may be weak into that. But in the case of service sector, we the Indians are really not only best, the best. For example, we are best doctor. We are best teacher. We are best engineer. We are best advocate. We are not best into hardware. We are best into software. Be sure about it. We are best into the software, means application part. If we are best into the service sector, but we have to think about marketing of the service sector. Our teachers should bother about marketing part. Our doctors should think about marketing part. Our musicians should bother about marketing part. I was saying to you, our farmers are best producers, but they are poor marketeers. They are simply producing. They are not knowing standardization, storing, insurance, pricing, and therefore they are not getting fair price. For example, in the month of February or March, they will produce potato. In the same month, you will find the prices of potato will decline. Now, they have to think about converting the potato into potato chips. Why only potato chips? Why not computer chips? Think about it. You see, after this COVID, there is one great opportunity for us. The labor, the manpower, the unskilled manpower, they have come from metro cities to the rural areas. You see, the labor has come to the villages. Think about reverse brain drain. Previously, there was brain drain. Now there is reverse brain drain. The labor has shifted to the rural area. But now think about marketing services into rural areas. India needs it. Government should provide the facility of marketing services for rural areas like transportation. Friends, infrastructural growth is very much essential. And from my point of view, infrastructure requires BSP. I am sitting in Uttar Pradesh. Please permit me, I am not talking about BSP, the political party. BSP means Bijli Sadak Pani. B means Bijli, electricity. S, Sadak, roads. And P means Pani, water. If we can provide to the villages, to the rural areas, 24/7 electricity supply, good roads, good water supply, really we are interested to live into the rural areas. Think about industrial growth into Bimaru states. One term was given, Bimaru. In that Bimaru, Bihar is there, Uttar Pradesh is there, Odisha is there, Maharashtra even, Madhya Pradesh, I'm sorry, not Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. But these are not the Bimaru states. Now they are becoming the emerging states. Think about marketing services for the rural areas with proper growth of infrastructure. This may be very much relevant. Prof. Bhartendu has written that there is some question. I will take it. Only few minutes. There will be presentation from my side. Then I will take your questions and I will try my best to reply it. Although I am here to learn, be sure. Teacher is always a learner. I'm not here for any presentation, any preaching. I am here to learn from my young friends. One more term I am pointing before you, SWOT, SWOT, which is S means strength, W is weakness, O is opportunity, and lastly T is threat. If you are the participant to this particular program, definitely you are having S. S means strength, but not only strength. In every personality, there is strength as well as W, weakness. Certain weaknesses are prevailing in everyone. Strength and weaknesses are the internal component. They are continuing in your internal part. Now, O and T, opportunity and threat, are the external factors. If you are here, you are having certain opportunities, but not only opportunity, there is threat also. If you have joined the course, there are certain challenges, certain threats. Now, friends, what is the best matrix? You are aware about the preparation of matrix. Let us prepare one matrix. 2x2 matrix is easiest part. You write it S, then write W. This side O and T. And we are going to prepare one matrix. This side S, now W. This side O and T. Best matrix will be S and O. If you are having strength and you are getting opportunity, it is known as SO. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was quite competent and he got the opportunity. Somehow Mahatma Gandhi blessed him and he became the first, the maiden prime minister. S along with O. Second will be S is getting T. It's also possible. You are quite competent. You are a best teacher, but you are getting threats. It happens. You please permit me. Sardar Patel was quite competent. He was equally competent as Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, but somehow he got the threats. He became deputy prime minister. So many people are such. S is getting T, threats. Number third, W. You are weak, but you are getting O. I'm not going to talk about any name. You are aware about few persons who are quite weak, but they are getting opportunity. And lastly, W and T, worst. You are weak and you are getting threats. These are four alternatives. S, O. S, T, W, O, W, T. These are 4 probable alternatives. You may think the best is SO, and you may say the worst is WT. You may think so. The best is SO and the worst is WT. But friends, it's not so. The WT can defeat the SO. WT worst can defeat the SO. Think about just reverse of SWOT. SWOT will be converted into TOWS. We are doing in the field of management. Metro company produced a fan. Just reverse of metro. METRO. Just reverse will be ORTEM. Artem fan. Metro company provided the brand Artem fan. Here I am with you to talk about converting the SWOT into TOWS. TOWS. It is the life. Convert your threats into opportunity. And convert your weakness into strength. It is the real management, friends. Convert your threats into opportunity and weakness into strength. It is the real management. Now I'm giving you 2 terms: efficiency versus effectiveness. Few teachers, few vice chancellor, few heads are saying my staff is not efficient. Don't apply these words. You always say my staff is quite competent, they are quite efficient. No one is non-competent. All are efficient. It's on you to convert the efficiency into effectiveness. I gave you one example of Ramcharitmanas. Lord Rama got the Banar Sena. Lord Hanumana was the captain. You see, but he was so successful manager that he got the success by converting the efficiency into effectiveness. You see, I gave you example of Setu Rameswaram, which was constructed for connecting India with Lanka. The same happened to Mahabharata, Gita, Arjuna. In the war field, there was certain different type of feelings in the mind of Arjuna. But Lord Krishna was a real manager. Entire Gita is full of management lessons. The sentence, Karmaneva adhikaraste ma phale sukhdachana. Karmaneva adhikaraste ma phale sukhdachana. Only work is in your control. Destiny is beyond your control. The way in which Lord Krishna motivated through the Gita to Arjuna, and ultimately Arjuna got success. You, the teachers, are the real managers. You have to convert the efficiency into effectiveness. Convert the SWOT into TOWS. Convert the threats into opportunity. Convert the weakness into strength. With your permission, I would like to quote my own example. When 36 years ago, I joined teaching profession. I went to the classroom for MBA teaching. I returned after 1 hour. At University of Allahabad, the system was quite transparent. My supervisor, who was professor, head, dean, as well as director, not only that, pro vice chancellor, professor, head, dean, director, pro vice chancellor, he was my supervisor also. I was said by the peon that he's asking you. I went. What was his remark? Harendra, my full name is Harendra Kumar Singh. Harendra, your class was good. I was very happy because normally he was not praising, he was always criticized. But your English was Rapidex. Friends, I am accepting before you that my even English today is Rapidex. My son can speak convent English. I can't speak convent English because I was taught into Hindi medium school. But I converted my weakness into strength. I decided on that particular day that my Rapidex English will become my USP. unique sales proposition. I have written around 24 books. Lectures are more than 500 or more than that. But never be sure. From my point of view, expert is the person who will make the complex issues simplest. If you ask to me, who is expert? Expert is the person who will make the complex issues simplest. Otherwise, experts are coming and they are making the simplest issues complex. न खुद को समझ में आता है न खुदा को समझ में आता है. Friends, I decided that I will use my this Rapidex type of English for writing my book, for writing my papers, for my lecture, and somehow, due to the blessings of God, I found everything. Therefore, I am suggesting, try to be expert, but use simplest language, lucid language, so that in the classroom teaching, your focus should be Antyodaya, which is known by Ruskin unto the last. As per Binova Bhave Antyodaya, as per Ruskin unto the last, and as per this government, Modi government, inclusive growth. The entire growth process should reach to the marginal sector. In your classroom teaching, the weakest student, the slow learner, should be benefited maximum. Only then you are a successful teacher. Otherwise, few genius students, they will understand your things. But few weak students, slow learners will be in problem. Probably you are aware, as per NAAC grading, certain 7 parameters are there, and they are thinking that your teacher is focusing or not about the slow learners. But from my point of view, my target is the last student, the weakest student, and I'm emphasizing that my 100% subject matter should be understandable to my students. Anyhow, I'm very happy to know that Mizoram University, its HRDC, and my friend who is the alumnus of Banaras Hindu University, Sir Bhartendu Singh, from Commerce faculty of Mizoram University, invited me. And today, really friends, I'm having 2 other assignments. One Viva Voci is going on, and another Viva Voci of Delhi University, which we have decided now at 2 o'clock. All these 3 I have to add. But even then, for teachers, the most satisfaction point is that if you are getting the chance of interaction. Lastly, I will suggest to all of you, in education, friends, don't be monotonous, don't be monotonous. Think about involving your participants. And therefore, the term which I have decided, edutainment. Club the education with entertainment. Club the education with entertainment, which is known as edutainment. Otherwise, in your class, students can't ask. Then what can we do? You provide them chance. Club the education, only then your class will be more interesting. Otherwise, it will become quite monotonous. Now I'm requesting Professor Bhartendu Singh Saab to provide me the questions which the participants have asked, so that in the remaining time, I will try my best to answer your questions. Or if you will not ask, certain few things I'm having, which I will explain. Over to Professor Bhartendu Singh Saab, so that we can know what are the questions of the participants. I will try my best to reply it. But here I am to learn, to understand your vision. There is no idea from my point of view that I am here to preach the things. Over to Professor Bhartendu Singh.
Sir, so far no one has placed any question. I'm requesting them again to place some question in question and answer box or chat box, so that we can ask something to him and he can respond. And actually, sir, the presentation you gave was very interesting. You proved that PPT is not always required for drawing attention of the viewers. It is possible with words only. You are not delivering lecture. You are talking to us. It seems like as if you are talking directly to me and are sitting face to face. That kind of impression I was getting. Some very relevant points you raised, sir. Convert your weakness into strength and threat into opportunity. If If somehow we are able to do these two things, I think all majority of the problems will be solved. For that, we have to identify our weakness. For that, we have to identify the threats. That is the first thing we have to do. Sir, as far as no such questions has came, so if you want, you can highlight on these points how to tackle these things, these issues, because it is it's simplest work for me to identify what are the mistakes in you or someone else, but very difficult to raise finger to myself. How to identify this is my mistake? Very difficult to say. On this platform, you mentioned about your English. People are reluctant to say mistakes or shortcomings in ourselves. So tell us how to identify this and how to improve on that. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you. There is no any question. It's good that probably you are agreeing to my view. But friends, my style is to motivate my student to ask the questions. Okay. You involve them. It will be better for you to make the class interacting with them. Professor Bhartendu was talking about weak points, mistakes. It will happen. If you will work, certain mistakes may happen. If you will work, certain weaknesses will be visible there. But friends, weaknesses are not weaknesses, be sure about it. Weaknesses are your positive sides. With your permission, I would like to add here the example of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan was the son of great poet Mr. Haribans Rai Bachchan. I have seen him. He was simply lecturer, means assistant professor at University of Allahabad, which is known as Oxford of the East. Probably you people are knowing, in our country, the oldest universities are Calcutta, that Kolkata now, Mumbai, Bombay University, and Chennai, Madras. These are three oldest universities. Fourth one has gone to Pakistan, Lahore. Fifth one is University of Allahabad, which was established on the pattern of Oxford, which is known as Oxford of the East. Otherwise, previously the Nalanda, Taxila, these were prevailing, but it is not in existence. On the pattern of Britishers in this country, the University of Calcutta, then Mumbai means Bombay, and Chennai means Madras. These three universities were started. Haribans Rai Bachchan was lecturer, assistant professor in the Hindi department at University of Allahabad, and his son is deciding to join the film industry. Friends, for the first generation, the entry is very difficult. Really, I'm telling you. Whosoever are the teacher for the first generation, they must be feeling the discomforts. There is struggle for joining this teaching profession. There was test of All India Radio, AIR, Akashvani. The expert was known to Mr. Haribans Rai Bachchan. But Haribans Rai Bachchan was a really great man. He wrote a letter, and the language was, if my son is found competent, if my son is found competent, he should be given assignment. There was test at All India Radio, and Mr. Haribans Rai Bachchan, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan was rejected. It was said that the expression, the oral communication of Amitabh Bachchan is not suitable. And not only oral communication, the height. Both were simply like bomb. It was said his oral communication and height both are not so appropriate. He was rejected. But Amitabh Bachchan Sahab was super genius. He converted the weakness into strength. The same weakness of different style of speaking. Angry young man. Otherwise, in those days, In film industry or All India Radio, they were quite mild, soft. But Amitabh Bachchan was not so soft. But the same thing he converted into strength. And the same height, which became the positive side. He created the history, the millennium star, the Bhutona Bhavishyati. The friends, you people also can do it. If you friends are saying you are not a good teacher, you accept the challenge. And ultimately, by your regular practice, you will become successful teacher. I have quoted this example of Amitabh Bachchan simply to motivate you people. You see, always we are criticized that around 1,000 universities are workable in our country, including central universities, state universities, open universities, private universities, deemed universities. Around 1,000 universities are workable in our country. But out of those 1,000 universities, none of the Indian university is prevailing to the list of 100 best universities of the globe. It is a paradox, friends. When our ex-president, Pranab Mukherjee Dada, from West Bengal, he came to our university in the convocation. He said, it's very controversial that the universities are more than 1,000 and none of the Indian universities prevailing in the list of best 100 universities of the globe. Friends, please permit me. This educational ranking is valid, but now India needs, and now not only India, but also throughout the world, we should think about, I'm prevailing new term, not only educational ranking, value-based educational ranking. So Bhartendu Singh Saab, different term I'm providing. Value-based educational ranking. Your university is not only for providing education, but also value-based education, character-based education. In this NEP, we are more focusing on value system. The culture of the university, the character building, the nation building. If few universities of India which are in high ranking, but they are not providing moral lessons, character building lessons, it is a bad scenario. We must think about value-based educational ranking. And I invite everyone to please come to Banaras Hindu University. And you will find a different laboratory for this value-based educational system. My university started by Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Mahamna ji. We are having around 2,500 teachers, more than 150 departments, various institutes, around 30,000 students. But by and large, we are more focusing on value-based educational development. In my university, many of you may be knowing about that, or you may be having exposure as like a student or teacher of BHU. We are having the primary section, secondary education, all is that. We are having primary section also, because we think about holistic development. That is now, this NEP 2020 is rather the replica of Malviya vision about educational growth. I am inviting all of you to attend the seminar in the month of December 3rd and 4th. On my university website, there is a brochure of Malviya's vision and NEP 2020. We have organized one international meet for Malviya's vision and NEP 2020, because this NEP 2020 is the replica of Malviya philosophy, Malviya thinking. Therefore, now, why only universities? Now you see IIT and IIMs, they are also focusing on the primary section, other social sciences, humanities. Only then we can think about the full employment, full growth of the students. Anyhow, I was simply talking about, you see, from start, innovative management practices in the post-COVID era. From my point of view, this 2022 is the start of post-COVID era. And I pray, Lord Vishwanath, that now COVID should remain in full control. Otherwise, we are not getting chances through offline mode. After a long gap, now we have started the offline classes. Otherwise, the educational growth is not possible through this online mode. But now in this post-COVID era, for converting our India into developed nation, let us think about professionalism. I gave you one term, BRICS, 5 emerging economies. Number 1, B the Brazil, R is Russia, I India, the central point, C China, and S is Africa. We are in that category. 5 emerging economies of the world, BRICS. We are in that, but we are expecting that through 5 trillion economy, we are going to be number 3rd as far GDP is concerned. But even then, let us think about improving the per capita income of the world. The latest challenge for the government is, in this post-COVID era, thinking about employment creation, thinking about GDP growth, thinking about population control. These are certain challenges. And at the university level, at the college level, the things are also quite difficult. I am thankful to Mizoram University for inviting me for this particular event, and through which, how many participants are there, Professor Bhartendu? How many participants are? You are not audible.
It is 30, sir, 30.
Oh, good, good. Mainly from which subjects?
All mix up, sir. Sciences are there, commerce, management, statistics, physics, maths, almost all subjects, sir, variety.
Social sciences also. Social sciences.
Yes.
Even then, my presentation was mainly focusing on commerce management because my subject is commerce management. But even then, I touched some other areas also. Now my presentation is over. If you are having any observation or any reaction.
So far, no questions, sir. So, and time is almost over, and you have to attend that PhD Viva also,
Yes.
I think. So better we finish the session here itself. And thanks a lot for sparing your valuable time and sharing your thought with us. Although, despite your engagement with PhD Viva and other things, still you gave us time. So thanks a lot, sir. And I hope we will have this kind of interactions again in future. Thank you, sir. Thanks for all your support. So, dear friends, now we'll have a lunch break and then we'll reassemble at 1:30 and we'll have a talk next third session today at 1:30.